Alright everyone, well the Dark Knight is out, but instead of jumping on that bandwagon, we're going to take a look at all the Spider-Man games on the Super NES. The ones released in the US and Europe anyway. Alright, the first game is just plain old Spider-Man, and admittedly for Super NES and 90-something, that intro and music is kinda cool. But let's start the important part, which is the game. Alright, you got, let's see, jump, punch, kick, shoot web. Look how Spider-Man walks in this game. He walks like his butt is heavier than his head. And there, right off the bat, you got problems with enemies you cannot see coming up and attacking you off screen. And right now I've hit some kind of wall and I have no idea what to do. Because if you stand close to this thing, he won't kick. You can't kick when you're close to solid objects or throw web. Well, they don't tell you this, but you're actually supposed to find a power-up that upgrades your web power level, I guess, so that it becomes over 9,000 and you can break that wall. Now, collision detection's really crappy. I got lucky this time and only lost a few health, but in my initial playing this, I got killed by that thing just because I couldn't figure out how to get his kicks to connect. But anyway, I skipped down, I got the web power-up, and I'm going back to break the fence down. I still can't get over how he's walking. Alright, so you crawl through this vent. Also, unlike the real Spider-Man, you can't climb on walls, which is stupid. Because even X-Men and Spider-Man vs. Arcade, which I'll show you in a minute, you can actually climb on walls as Spider-Man. These tanks, I couldn't figure out anyway. Look how fast that thing is shooting. Like, there's no way to get past that thing without getting hit. Not with these crappy controls anyway. And look, I died, but instead of having like a restart screen, you just pick back up where you were, which is good in some ways, but I guess it could get you into trouble if you were standing in the right place. Alright, so I'm... basically the story, by the way, is that a bunch of villains have escaped from their villain prison, and Spider-Man goes to beat them, but apparently Spider-Man is... What in the world? But yeah, that's enough of that. Let's check out Spider-Man and the X-Men, Arcade's Revenge. Now I have no idea who Arcade is, why he's getting his revenge. But apparently Spider-Man and the X-Men are going to team up to take him down. The music in this game is probably the best thing, but unfortunately, good music does not make a good game. Alright, let's start this. Alright, now you get a comic book entry, and basically what happens is Gambit's just walking down Peter Parker's city, and he just stands there and lets a truck with a vacuum cleaner on it suck him up. Alright, get ready, Spider-Man. Alright, my spider sense is telling me to go this... Oh, don't press that button. Okay, controls, a little loose. Enemies shoot really fast, like in most games when you have an enemy in the air you need to shoot at, you can jump and shoot before it... excuse me. Before it fires. You can't do that here. Enemies shoot way too fast, and you never get in time to get a shot in. Now, if... excuse me, I'm coughing, I don't know why, but if you've been watching, basically you can see what the gameplay of this first level is. To rescue the X-Men, he's just going to run around these two buildings picking up these flashing red light things. I don't even know what they are. I mean, if they were going to be bombs, they should have made them look like bombs, not, you know, those little things that say walk and do not walk, or crosswalks. Look at that sky. It looks like the same texture they used for Earthworm Jim's brain in Earthworm Jim 3D. Alright, so you managed to get through that level and you meet Arcade, I guess. And Spider-Man looks like he's taking a leak in front of the X-Men there. Quite a colorful bow tie as well. Alright, so the concept is you get all these different characters and you have to beat, I guess, 2 levels with each of them. to finish the game. Let's try Cyclops. I'm not a fan of that version of his outfit, but we'll play it anyway. Get ready, Cyclops. Alright, so I'm in some kind of nondescript cave. Oh shoot, he has a laser power up. You can't. He angles it right into the ground when you duck, which makes it pretty much... What the? Okay, next game. Sorry this is so rushed. To fit all this stuff in, I had to really cut it. Okay, so this is a beat 'em up. They went a little bit different direction with this one. But you know, at first glance, it's not really that bad of a beat 'em up. I mean, the storyline's nothing special. You're going to fight Carnage, but why does that involve walking down the street, beating up seemingly innocent bystanders? I mean, you got this guy named Steve who looks like Dr. Octopus from the Spider-Man 2 movie. And then you got like a reject from DJ Boy over here trying to beat you up that has a target on his stomach. Your web moves, you can expand those pretty easily, and they actually work well. But then again, the web gimmick isn't really enough to help. Because beat 'em ups, they have to be really creative and fun to keep things interesting. Because you know, a beat 'em up is a beat 'em up, right? But this game doesn't do any of that. I mean, the second level, which you'll see in a second, it's a little bit different. It departs from the beat 'em up formula, but it's in itself is so frustrating. It's not even fun. I mean, the game is fun for a few minutes, and I'll admit I never bothered to go too far into it. But I just don't see it getting any better, unless there's like some really amazing levels later on. I just can't get over Spiderman. Why don't you walk down the street and look at the boss? I skipped to the boss of this level. It's just these two random girls. I mean, maybe they're from the comic or something. Like I said, I didn't watch the intro story because of time constraints on YouTube. But I mean, it's like he's beating up two tennis players or something. Alright, in the second level, you're supposed to climb up a building, and the arrow tells you which side you're supposed to go to avoid the laser being shot from the top. Well, who's up there shooting a laser? I don't remember Carnage. Does he have a laser gun? Maybe. And, you know, this wouldn't be that bad of a level if they didn't put these stupid blocks every so often up the tower. And the laser beam comes so often, you don't have time to position yourself adequately to swing into the next thing. And I understand maybe they put those there to catch you when you fall, but 99% of the time you end up just falling to the bottom like a flea hopping off the side of a dog on a rooftop. And then they released Seperation Anxiety the next year, and you can actually play as Venom in this one. Which, you know, I thought, okay, this is going to be good. They redid it, and you can play as Venom. There's the story, you can read it. It's pretty much the same thing. Only the A, the Amazing Spider-Man. Alright, this looks good. Alright, it's a beat 'em up again. Now, what do you notice about this? This is the exact same game. Only now you can play as Venom, and they got new sprites for the enemies. At least they look a little bit more daunting now, rather than beating up like people from DJ Brawl. There's the guy from DJ Boy. They just palette swapped that guy from the last game and put it back in here thinking it would make everything new. And I'm willing to bet if you finish this first level, there's probably one of those climb stages there, except you get to be Venom this time. Once again, I didn't get to play as far as I normally would because of time constraints of jam-packing all these games into one video, but I'll do a full review of a game next, so it'll be better and hopefully back to normal. And, I'd like to point out what happens when you die. When you lose all your lives, that's it. Game over. No continue. You get 2 lives to beat this entire game. Alright, that's enough of this. We'll see you next time.